Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of I Trek. Huge shout out to all the members in the fam that is just tapped in, man. I do appreciate you guys. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the new species of dinosaur that has just been found in Thailand. We'll also be taking a look at possible proof that fairies actually exist. But don't ever forget, you must always do your homework and don't believe everything that you see. Make sure to watch until the end because per usual, there are gems throughout this whole episode. Before we get into any of that, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a part of the iTrack fam, man. Hit that hype button, it helps the channel out a whole lot. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Researchers say they've discovered a new dinosaur species in Thailand. NPR's James Dubek says it's the largest dinosaur ever found in Southeast Asia.
The dinosaur would have been about 90 feet long and weighed about 30 tons. It was a sauropod, a type of dinosaur that eats plants and has a long neck and tail. The researchers called it Nagatitan, named after a mythical serpent creature that's worshipped in Southeast Asia. Nagatitan lived between 100 to 120 million years ago. It gives clues about how dinosaurs got even bigger later on. Here's researcher Titiwut Setapaniksaku.
Nagatitan essentially represents that kind of on-ramp towards that kind of supersizing.
It is the 14th named dinosaur discovered in Thailand, and experts are excited about the expanding fossil record from the region. James Dubek, NPR News.
I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News. For more of today's news, be sure to like and follow us or check out NPR News Now, wherever you listen to podcasts.
This footage documents an injured fairy discovered by a veterinarian in the Trillamarka forest in Norway. Norway and the surrounding Scandinavian region have a long history of fairy sightings within their remote forested regions. The fairy in this documentation appeared to lose consciousness shortly after being discovered. The veterinarian administered mouth-to-mouth resuscitation in accordance with standard veterinary protocol. The fairy regained consciousness and flew off into the forest. Its current whereabouts are unknown.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen a fairy in person, but I do know there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing you can think of that doesn't already exist. So what that means is, when you're hearing about giants, goblins, dragons, angels, demons, and fairies, it means it's real, brother. This fairy was found in 1975. Put it on display. Fairies are real. I don't think people are understanding. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind. And what that means is, if you're trapped in your mind in a box and you believe what the mainstream tells you, there's no surprise you don't believe what we have to say. But just in case you're sitting on the fence, brother, they even x-rayed it. Oh my diddy. Oh my days.
Bro, that's crazy.
Oh my God, yo, that's a fairy.
That's the they outside in the water
I'm here with my family
recording this, bro.
on a vacation. Not
Came
on a
across a
vacation,
fairy.
I'm just here because of my graduation. I just graduated and I'm seeing a fucking fairy in real life.
That's fucked up. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this. There's too many fairies getting caught on camera, bro. I already talked about this one right here. There's too many of them getting caught on camera. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only, yo. It's getting spooky. It's getting spooky, bro. We gotta talk about this. Bro, where are these fairies coming from, bro? It's crazy. Look at it.
I look like a fairy, bro. Like just chilling, like hiding, like it's a bug, like camouflaging, bro. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, my name French Dose, man. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only, right? Where's all these fairies coming from? Even this person right here had a clip, right, of a tree, and you see this little house right here. And somebody might have easily put that there, but you never know. You never know. There's hundreds of videos, bro, of fairies, and they look legitimate like fairies, bro. And we don't know, like, fairies can disguise themselves, man. Probably as bugs or something. It's just there's too many Tinkerbells running around here, bro. And I don't mean the fake gangsters and all that. I'm talking about these fairies on these cameras, bro.
The last clip with that fairy in the car, man, they're gonna have to stop the cap 100% because I've seen plenty of insects that look just like that, right? And definitely tap in and let me know it isn't just me.
But when they looked, there was nothing there. When they mentioned it to other people working in the building, the reaction wasn't surprising. Apparently, the courthouse has a long history of strange encounters. Whether that history is connected to the thermal anomaly is anyone's guess. So what do you think that thermal figure really was? A stray heat signature caused by something perfectly ordinary? Or a ghost caught on camera?
This company just raised $60 million to spray a secret particle into the Earth's atmosphere so that they can dim the sun and cool the planet. And there's no country that has a law to stop them from doing it. Their plan is to fly airplanes 11 miles into the Earth's atmosphere and then spray particles that bounce sunlight back into space before it reaches the ground, kind of like what a volcano does whenever it erupts. The particle that they want to use is so secret that nobody outside of the company actually knows what it is. They just say that it's safe. So it's like the Krabby Patty secret formula. Outdoor testing was supposed to start last month, and the full plan is 100 airplanes spraying this into the sky non-stop by 2030, which is only 4 years away. They're saying that the particles do not stay up in the atmosphere though, because they fall back down within just a few years. This means that once you start dimming the sun, you can literally never stop. If they were to do it and then they were to stop, scientists are saying that the temperatures could spike back up even faster than climate change itself. Models of all of this happening are currently showing that it could cause droughts in Africa, stronger hurricanes, and weather changes that affect billions of people. Guys, what do you think about this?
I mean, there is a point where I understand what they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, Mother Nature seems to be undefeated since the beginning of time.
A group of Israeli scientists are looking to block out part of the sun. With our planet reaching the hottest average temperature it's seen in recorded history, scientists have been searching for a solution. The Asher Space Research Institute announced they are preparing for the prototype stage of Project Cool Earth, a plan to build giant shades in space, blocking about 2% of the sun's radiation. A single shade would need to be the size of Argentina and weigh 2.5 million tons in order to fulfill the goal of cooling the Earth by 2.7 degrees. So their plan is to send multiple rockets carrying many smaller shades. The prototype would be 100 square feet and cost between $10 to $20 million. Supporters applaud the plan as a temperature stabilizer to buy Earth more time to work on green energy efforts. Critics point out the shades would be vulnerable to space debris and asteroids, and the money could be better used planet-side.
4 companies now own 71% of the world's internet cables in the ocean. Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon are building their own private internet, and it happened in less than a decade. Before 2012, these 4 companies used less than 10% of the world's undersea cable capacity, and today they own 71% of it. Meta just announced Project Waterworth, a $10 billion cable that'll be the longest undersea cable ever built, and it's only owned by Meta. It's not shared with any telecom companies. And Google has invested in over 20 cables, including one that connects the US to France and another running from Portugal down the entire west coast of Africa. And the reason for all this is AI. Training AI models requires moving incredible amounts of data between data centers across continents. These companies need so much bandwidth that it's cheaper to build their own cables than to rent space on someone else's. Meanwhile, only 1% of all of the internet cables in the ocean are owned by governments. The physical infrastructure that carries 95% of the world's international data, including government communications and financial transactions, is almost entirely in private hands.
No, amigo, ¿qué mierda es eso, boludo? ¿Qué mierda sola, concha tu madre. Boludo, no. Amigo, no hay nadie, boludo.
Small town in Jamaica, there was apparently a young boy who was constantly attacked by a spirit that the boy claimed to be his friend who had passed away. Shaken up, the residents called their local news station to come and interview the young boy and his family. The mother states that she doesn't believe that the spirit, it's his son's friend but an evil entity presenting himself as a long-past friend. During the interview, the boy is pushed back on his chair and at one point lifted off the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. They say that's how it's been for the past several days.
The way the boy is pulled back and lifted is clear and unsettling. People need to be careful with spirits presenting themselves as past loved ones. Don't be deceived.
4 different types of extraterrestrial alien species have been recovered from UFO crash sites. That's according to a man, a doctor, who worked with these government agencies. Dr. Hal Puthoff, pictured here, claims that at least 4 different types of extraterrestrial aliens have been recovered from crash sites here on the Earth by the government. He even goes into detail what these different types of extraterrestrials are like. So let me just tell you. So here are those 4 types. The insectoids, the greys, the reptilians, and the Nordics. Let's look into this a little deeper. So according to Dr. Hal Puthoff, who was an advanced aerospace weapons programmer, these are the 4 main species of extraterrestrial life that have come here to Earth on multiple occasions and might still be here now. The first is the insectoids, which look a lot like a praying mantis, but a human-sized one. Then you got the greys, you know those tiny little skinny extraterrestrials with the big black eyes? Followed by the reptilians, which are well over 6 feet and basically look like a reptile, hence the word reptilian. Then come the Nordiques that all look like they're from Sweden. So Dr. Puthoff, who has made this statement, isn't just spouting off. The things he's talking about, these 4 different types of extraterrestrials, are in the government's own documents. Yes, if you look through the disclosed UFO files, you'll see all 4 of these types of extraterrestrials mentioned. So is it true? Maybe. But a couple things are for sure. Number 1, Dr. Puthoff has said it and he believes it. The government has files on it, so they probably believe it. And all over the world, not just the United States, people have seen these things. So judge for yourself, make up your own mind, and let me know in the comment section. Shabadoo Booshkies, Shabadoo.
In this next clip, and it's a spooky one, guys, you ever caught something in a reflection and wish you hadn't looked twice? Real quick, if you like clips like this, stick around. Channel's brand new. Would love to have your support. All right, let's go. In this clip, a family's taking a house tour from what looks to be an enclosed porch just outside their kitchen. Everything looks and sounds normal, just showing the space, talking, moving the camera around, and just like always, nothing is out of place. But here's what they say after. There were no kids out there, no one else, just them. Watch the window as the camera pans. Don't blink.
They must have had an oven here, a range. Oh.
Wait, we could make my mom cook out here, so does this take a
And you know, it's probably also
Yeah.
because of seal. They might have taken it out. Yeah. So they have like, well, you guys went in the back.
Yeah, we've seen around the house.
Did you see it? Right here in the reflection. Now let's slow it down. For just a split second, that looks like a child's face. Not movement, not a shadow crossing, just a face looking out. And it only shows up when the angle lines up perfectly. Then it's gone. Could it be a reflection? Maybe. But if it is, it was way too specific, because reflections don't usually just appear and disappear like that. The person recording the footage says there wasn't a child there, so either the window caught something it shouldn't have, or something was already there. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think this is, and if you missed it, go back.
That was definitely creepy. There was for sure a child's face in the bottom left corner of that window. If you missed it, definitely rewind it back and check it out for yourself.
This took place in San Bernardino, California. A heavy metal band was playing in plain daylight. And I want you to observe this guy. He is running at full velocity, and something, a force, pushes him back, throws him to the ground, and it seems like he is dragged a little. They try to assist him to get up, and he does, but then something pushes him back. In plain daylight, nobody near him. What could have happened here? Was he under some type of drug that he consumed, or was he possessed? Or did he just voluntarily push himself back somehow? But how? Given his size and velocity. How did this happen? What is your opinion on this? What happened here?
So the Kandahar Giant might have taken off in his UFO last night from Afghanistan. Let me explain. Back in 2008, there was a battle between the U.S. military forces and a giant. And that giant was humongous and impaled a bunch of special forces, crushing their bones and theoretically potentially eating them. Last night, Afghanistan had a UFO mothership above it, and due to all of the nuclear threats and all of the wars and all of the other problems that have been going on in the Middle East, he might have taken off, or their entire group of species might have taken off last night. So Kandahar, Afghanistan area had a huge mothership go up last night. If you want to see the photo, check this out. This is from one video. Others say this thing was like football field size or multiple football field size. This thing was enormous. But the story of the Kandahar Giant has been continued to be reportedly true from multiple sources. And then this UFO mothership took off last night. What do you think? Do you think that it's true? Do you think they want to get the hell out of here? Why would red-headed giants be in a hot-ass sandy desert anyway? Let me know your comments in the comment section. Love to hear what you have to say. Locked on yours out. Peace.
Unspoken rule, you should know. If someone only reaches out to you because they need something, they do not value you.
Forget it. What is that?
This man was just walking down a trail, and he looked up and saw something that looked holographic standing in the trees. Did he literally film something that's cloaked, basically like a predator?
Look at that. Look at that, bro. Looks like holographic.
Mira allá abajo. Hijo, se está moviendo muy rápido. Son demasiado grandes. Eso no es un animal normal. Lo está alcanzando. Vámonos.
Fun fact of the day. The United States Library of Congress has received multiple requests for the Presidential Book of Secrets as featured in the National Treasure film franchise. The Book of Secrets is fictional, but the prop used in the making of the film was on display in the library for 2 months in 2008.
If you put a brain in a jar with no body attached, would it still be conscious? For decades, this question has been purely hypothetical, but recently scientists found a way to actually test it, and the results are bizarre. Some children with severe untreatable epilepsy undergo a procedure called hemispherotomy. Surgeons essentially disconnect half of their brain, severing it from the other hemisphere and the outside world while keeping its blood flow intact. This stops the seizures from spreading. And when done early early enough, kids can recover remarkably well thanks to the brain's flexibility. But here's the question no one could answer. What happens to that disconnected half? Does it just go dark, or does it maintain some strange, isolated form of consciousness, what researchers call an island of awareness? In other words, if you remove the brain from its body, does consciousness still exist? Researchers started scanning these isolated hemispheres using fMRI, and what they found was intriguing. The brain networks were still there. All 7 core networks that exist in a healthy brain were still active and organized. The default mode network, the one that's active when you're daydreaming or thinking about yourself, was still functioning. But here's where it gets weirder. When they measured the actual electrical activity using EEG, they found that the isolated hemisphere was dominated by slow waves, the hallmark of deep, dreamless sleep. Except it's not really sleep, because sleep requires the thalamus, which the hemisphere is completely disconnected from. So what the heck is that? The best interpretation is that it's probably not conscious, but it's not silent either. Every time the brain loses connection to the outside world, it seems to default to this strange sleep-like state, which raises an uncomfortable question. How do we know if something is conscious? Because we're already growing brain organoids in labs and building increasingly sophisticated AI, and we won't be able to just ask them.
We use the term UAP, right? Now it's unidentified anomalous phenomenon, because it's all domain. Initially it was UFO, unidentified flying object. And for several reasons they changed the name. One of them, not just because of stigma like people think, but because the word flying object means flight. And you have to have wings to fly. That's flight. And these things don't have wings. So that term, we're not even sure is even accurate anymore, because they're not just flying. We see them underwater. We see them super high altitude. So the term was changed to unidentified aerial phenomenon. But again, that did not encompass all the observations we were seeing. So now the term UAP, I think the latest description of it is unidentified anomalous phenomenon, to help describe this multi-domain or transmedium characteristic that we are beginning to see and record that these things can do.
3 times you should always keep your mouth shut. See if you agree. And this could save a relationship, it could save a job, it could save a life sometimes. Number 1, when you don't know the full story, keep it zipped. You're just being a distraction and you're not adding to the solution. Number 2, when your emotions are running high, check yourself. Am I really heated at this moment? Then I'm going to keep my damn mouth shut, because I'll say something I shouldn't have, or that I wish I didn't. And number 3, and this is something people don't seem to remember anymore, when your opinion was not asked for. And that doesn't mean starting your comment with, I know no one asked me, but here's what I think. No one asked you because they don't want to know your opinion.
Now, he just dropped some gems you can hold on and take with you now.
Thinking critically changes how your brain works. Every time you question assumptions, compare evidence, and slow down before reacting, you strengthen better mental pathways. Over time, your brain gets less impulsive, more logical, and harder to manipulate.
Is that your sister, Katie?
Oh my God!
That's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom?
Hold on, we gotta get a side by side.
Wait.
Oh my goodness.
That is scary. She's the first. She's the prototype.
Have you guys seen this conspiracy of this guy saw like a giant? This is so weird. Okay, so this guy was driving and then there's a state park there with this big mountain. And he's like, what in the world? Looks like there's like a giant walking on the mountain. And so then he's just started pursuing it. Like, I need to find out what this is.
Yeah.
He tried to go up the state park road. There was a guy who claimed he was CIA and said the road's closed, turn around. But this car just kept on showing up at his house. And like he gets a video of like, he like looks out the window. He runs outside, the car peels and just drives away. And then he like put out this statement and it was almost like he was reading off of something like, hey, those videos I did,
I was just kidding.
Yeah, they're fake. I'm just kidding. And then he just disappears.
There's this guy like this behind the camera.
He's gone. You're not hearing what I'm saying.
Yes!
He's gone.
I heard it. Wait, gone?
They don't know where he is.
He's a missing person.
He's missing.
Oh my gosh, guys. Okay,
and
but
presumed deceased.
It's like, and then I don't know if you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been off, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
That was my way of
Yes,
cueing
yeah.
you. Like, it's open
Yeah.
dialogue.
You want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything. But
But don't do it.
yeah, no, of course. Offered tons.
This man may have been the greediest person to ever walk the earth. In 1973, J. Paul Getty was not just the richest man in history, he was about to prove he was the coldest as well. When the mafia kidnapped 16-year-old John Paul Getty III and demanded $17 million, the world expected a check. Instead, Getty gave them a lesson in math. Here's what he told the press. I have 14 other grandchildren. If I pay a penny now, I'll have 14 kidnapped grandchildren. For 5 months, he let John Paul rot in a cave. The kidnappers grew desperate. They stopped sending letters and instead sent a blood-soaked envelope containing the boy's severed ear. The message was clear: pay, or the rest of him would arrive in pieces. Getty finally agreed to pay for John Paul's freedom, but only after negotiating the ransom down from $17 million to $3 million. Even then, he refused to pay the full amount. He only transferred $2.2 million strictly because it was the maximum he could write off on his taxes. The rest? He forced his son to borrow it from him to save the boy on the condition that he would repay the loan with 4% interest. Follow for more dark and insane stories.
Now, with family like that, you don't even need enemies. Like, seriously.
He turns into a reptilian right now. They wanted me to go full reptile. I didn't want to. Really? Yeah. How does that even work? How does somebody come to you and say, hey, I want to be a reptilian? They see the potential that you can do to shift the culture. Right. And I chose to shift it myself. So people actually will come to you and say, hey, I want you to be a reptilian. What does that entail? It's more like, will you? It's basically like selling your soul. It's such a tricky
So you have to like sign, like Ursula and the Little Mermaid, like sign on the dotted line, and
you have to give more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a firstborn, or like your left nut or something.
Listen, if you want that tour bus to not have the brakes go out tonight,
Okay, yeah,
I'm just kidding. No one can hear us. No one knows we're talking about this. But
we're good.
It's a tricky slope because the industry is really dark.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that
I feel like there's such a dark side and there's such also a light side. It just depends on which.
There is. But thankfully, because of social media and people having the guts, a lot of things are now infiltrated. Right. Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, all these things are coming. So Hollywood is so scared.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
There's no new artists. They're all pushing the stupid satanic demon. It's all so
like,
now.
What's her name? Doja Cat right now? It's getting weird.
It's just getting boring.
Signs you're doing better than you think from a licensed therapist. Number 1, you've survived everything that once felt unsurvivable. Every hard season, every moment you thought you wouldn't get through, you did. That is no small feat. Your brain forgets those victories the moment they pass, but they still count. Number 2, you've changed in ways you once desperately wanted. Think back to who you were 3 or 5 years ago. Some of the growth you desperately wanted back then, you're living it now. However, your brain likes to move the goalpost without telling you. Number 3, you know what you don't want. And that might sound like a consolation prize, but it's actually hard-earned clarity. A lot of people waste years chasing the wrong things, but knowing what drains you, what doesn't serve you, what you won't settle for anymore, that's actual progress. Number 4, you have at least one relationship that feels easy. You're at least one person who doesn't require a performance from you. Someone who you can be a little bit of a mess around. You don't need to be perfect around them, and it feels easy. That kind of connection is rarer than people like to admit. Number 5, you've learned something in the last year, whether it's a skill, a perspective, a hard lesson, all of it counts.
Now here go just a few facts to marinate on.
This next clip is in reference to cloning, but what he says explains how conscious transfer or soul transferring is possible. Watch to the end and let me know what you guys think.
Well, if you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD, that's downloaded on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have, because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly.
Animal facts, I'm not arguing in 2026. If you still want to believe them, I'm not going to stop you. Killer whales aren't whales, they're dolphins. Whale, they're both. Whales, or at least the whales you think of, dolphins and porpoises, are cetaceans. There's 2 types of cetaceans, toothed whales and baleen whales. Dolphins are toothed whales, and orcas are the world's biggest dolphin. Although I won't judge you, I was a victim of this misunderstanding myself. Black panther is not an animal. Any cat in the Panthera genus is a panther, and any panther that's black is a black panther. It's just that the mutation that causes it happens in leopards, but mostly jaguars. But if you want to be a jerk about it, and honestly I do, you could call any of these a black panther. Oh, also technically, this isn't a panther. Matter of fact, number 3, cougars aren't big cats. Either are cheetahs. I can't tell if y'all be trying to rage bait me, but any cat that can open its mouth and turn on a bird watcher does not qualify. Cheetahs and cougars aren't in the panther genus, so they're disqualified. It's also why they can't roar. I can see how that could be confusing, but moral of the story, you are big cats, but doesn't mean you are a big cat. Elephants don't think you're cute, please stop saying that. They don't look at you and see a primate puppy, please stop saying that. They're my favorite animal. They also erase 500 people a year for a reason. A wild elephant will murk you and show up to your funeral before it calls you cute. Hyenas aren't dogs. I don't know why y'all keep trying to fight me on this. They're closer to cats, but it's more accurate to say they're like a giant mongoose. Think a meerkat on steroids. Timon new ball, if you know, you know. Wolves do not have alphas, and this is the last time I'm saying this publicly. Some of y'all have some weird hills to die on. A normal wolf pack is just 2 wolves and generations of children. The alpha is just a parent. If you call your daddy alpha, that's your business, not theirs. The alpha wolf thing came from watching wolves in captivity. Wolves that did not know each other. That's like writing a thesis on human behavior after spending time in max security. The more you know. Also, I'm sorry I yelled. I'm not mad, I'm just tired.
You know that a lot of people don't understand that even when they do blood transfusion is one thing, but what if I told you they taking bodies, right? They got a soul, and they swapping that soul and putting it in another body. What if I told you that? You talk about a blood transfusion. What if I told that you can take your soul and just put it in another shell and continue to live?
I would think that's kind of what they lead to in the future, but
I'm doing it right. What the fuck? Ain't no future. Everything's happening right now.
You think they really got the
What do you mean? I think I know they're doing it right now. It's proven.
Is that the same as like cloning or cloning people, or what do you mean?
Listen, cloning. Listen.
What's the difference?
Listen, when you cloning somebody, you just cloning their body. You trying to you cloning their muscle, they look alike, their presence, who they, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But when you actually transfer their soul, you transfer the essence of that person. Right? That's who that person is, right? Besides who they are this time, that's the key to who they are. And you can transfer that from one person to the next.
Have you ever wondered why certain celebrities will drastically change in appearance where they look totally different from before? Well, there is a reason for this. It is called body snatching, also known as soul swapping, where an astral entity takes residence in the body of the person. This can happen naturally with extreme cases of drug use or alcohol, but sometimes it's done on purpose to control the celebrity for certain agendas. If they are not body snatched, they might be replaced with a hired body double or a bio-robot clone. This should show you that the world is not what you think it is, and it's kind of a big stage to move humanity in a certain direction. The surprising thing is that both positive and negative groups use this technology to try to outsmart each other and spoil each other's plans, basically. The question is, who is doing all of this? Maybe I will save that for another video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and you can check out this post on my blog for more on this topic.
Crazy tech news, multiple people on X and Reddit are claiming that they are banned from Claude Code because they asked it to create a hantavirus vaccine.
But I learned later that this is probably because they're involved in a cover-up, and that the chances of Apophis striking the Earth in 2029 is far greater than what they're admitting at this point. And by the way, in the book, I go into that. It's more than a conspiracy theory. I've interviewed and talked with astronomers, members of NASA, people with above top secret security clearance. Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis from the Pentagon, who was a senior analyst there, put me in contact with impact specialists. People like Nathan Myhrvold, who is constantly listed in the top 100 critical thinkers, scientific thinkers in the world, a true polymath with over 800 patents to his name. He once ran the science department at Microsoft. One of the most brilliant men on earth has recently published a peer-reviewed paper in an astronomy magazine in which he accuses NASA of an absolute cover-up of the threat that is posed by both Apophis and some other asteroids. So I did all of this research and came to believe that, in fact, of all dates, Friday the 13th, April 2029, Apophis is going to strike the earth.
There was a tweet that went viral. It was put out by communications staffer Steve Chung. It showed you in a Nike tracksuit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
was
Steve
that,
put that
was that some type of?
No, it's a comfortable
Were you trying to
suit.
set a sign?
No,
What's
no,
the context for
There's
that?
no context. It's a nice suit. I mean, I like it. It's comfortable.
It was the same one Maduro was wearing.
It is, but you know what? He copied me because I had it before. I don't know when he bought his. I don't even know that was his. The bottom line is that that's a suit that it's comfortable. I don't know. There was no message. I didn't even know he was taking the picture.
4,000 to 5,000 years ago, this young French woman's skull was trepanned, meaning that there was an open skull surgery, which they cut a hole and took about 3 hours, it's estimated, to insert this prosthetic, what they think is one of the first prosthetics, this ear made from a seashell. Now, the crazy part is that scientists have figured out she lived for many years afterwards. The even crazier part is 4,000 to 6,000 years ago, trepanning was somewhat common. They would drill holes in skulls or cut holes in skulls or perform minor brain surgeries in order to relieve headaches, cure illnesses, or relieve what they thought were evil spirits.
Did you know Antarctica is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on Earth? And its ice sheet contains about 70% of the world's fresh water.
The future is now, where you can find a driverless car without a human even inside the vehicle, straight tweaking out. I'm surprised people remain so calm watching this vehicle spin out in circles until it eventually crashed. This should be an advertisement for Tesla.
Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers said he's been haunted by the Hat Man since his first ayahuasca trip in Peru, and he's not the only one. Thousands of people around the world have reported seeing a shadowy figure in a hat standing in their room while they're sleeping. In an interview in August of 2022, Aaron Rodgers said, "The Hat Man sometimes appears in the distance, staring at me, usually holding a rabbit and a blade, just looking." Many claim that this was taken out of context and meant to be satire, but either way it's really creepy because so many people have reported similar encounters with the Hat Man. What sets the Hat Man phenomena apart is the sheer number of these personal accounts from individuals who claim to have encountered the shadowy figure. The entity is often reported as being malevolent, radiating an evil aura that instills fear in those who cross its path. Have you encountered the Hat Man or any other shadow person before? There's numerous theories that try to explain it away by sleep paralysis, anxiety, stress, but others think it could be supernatural or an interdimensional being that seeps into our world that could be affected by those on ayahuasca, Benadryl, DMT, or other substances that weakens that barrier of our reality and their own.
Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
Blood drinking in the industry is definitely mildly exaggerated.
But it's a lot that goes on, though.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people's souls are... People take a lot of other people's souls, basically, without saying too much.
They pay to be people. Say it that way.
Wow.
And
so they pay
they,
to be
but
people.
they'll put, I'm gonna put your ass in jail for 4 or 5 months with the swipe of my pen until you give me your skin. I'm gonna sit in this garden there every day to work your mother until you say I can be you. And then you come out with whatever ever you broke for, 8 million, 10 million, whatever. If you were smart, you got away with more than a couple. And now they're you, hiding from your skin. That's what they're looking at. A whole bunch of people getting beat up and kidnapped, bro. You can't. How can you sell what doesn't belong to you? So I looked at you that way. You can't sell what doesn't belong to you. It's not possible. Your soul belongs to God. You can only trade places with people that have a lot of... It's a play on the mind. See? It's a play on the mind. Do you not know how many people are actually in insane asylums? The people that are walking around in their bodies are jailbirds. Jay-Z wants animals as leaders. Because animals are lifers in prison. So if I can turn all these animals into leaders, the birds, the ants, if I can summon all the souls of every animal that's ever been fed, I'm saving them from a life sentence. And that's supposed to be your Jesus?
Hey, once he gets going, man, you got to let him cook. You got to let him cook.
Don't worry. Don't react to the things that you don't prefer, because remember, even if something crops up in your life you don't prefer, it's still there for a reason you can use in a positive way. Make it part of your excitement that things crop up you don't prefer, because it's going to give you an opportunity to see, by contrast, what it is you do prefer more clearly. That's how to use that in a positive way, instead of simply matching the vibration of what you don't prefer by moping about it. The idea is nothing affects you until you agree to be affected. You are changing your own energy to match the frequencies of things you believe are true. So watch your definitions and create new definitions that work for you, instead of just assuming that the ones that don't work for you are facts that you cannot change. The only facts that exist in your creation are the 5 facts we call the 5 laws. You exist, everything is here and now. The one is all, the all are one. What you put out is what you get back. Everything changes except the laws. Everything else other than those facts are not facts. They are perspectives, they are opinions, they are beliefs. And you can change every single one of those. Make sense?
Well, you guys, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate you guys for always stopping by, watching, and learning with me. As the conspiracies pile up and the mysteries keep going, we'll be taking a look at all of it and examining for ourselves. If you haven't already, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and smash that subscribe button if you're not a part of the iTrack fam, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.